What if the planet most people associate with love was actually the teacher of demons? What if the planet of beauty was also the keeper of a secret so powerful it could bring the dead back to life? In modern astrology, Venus is often reduced to romance, attraction, and luxury. But in ancient Vedic mythology, Venus was something far more mysterious. Venus was Shukra, the spiritual teacher of the Asuras, the keeper of the Mrit Sanjeevani Vidya, the knowledge that could revive the dead. Today we are going deep into the mythology of Venus, where this planet appears in the Vedas, how it evolved through the Puranas, and why Venus represents desire, attraction, and resurrection in astrology. Welcome to Cosmic Blackbox, where we decode the hidden systems running beneath everyday life. Let's open the box. Long before telescopes existed, ancient civilizations noticed one planet shining brighter than all others. This was Venus. It appears just before sunrise or just after the sunset. Because of this, ancient cultures called it the morning star or the evening star. Venus is the brightest planet visible from Earth, and because of its brilliance, it became associated with beauty, attraction, and divine power. But the Vedic tradition saw something deeper. They saw Venus as a teacher, a guru, a master of hidden knowledge. The Sanskrit word Shukra means bright, pure, clear, and radiant. In the Rig Veda, the word Shukra appears multiple times, but in many verses, it is used to describe brightness or brilliance, not always the planet itself. For example, the Rig Veda often uses Shukra to describe bright light, shining energy, and radiant power. Later texts began to associate this brilliance with the planet Venus. Over time, the word Shukra became the official name of Venus in Vedic astrology. But the mythology of Shukra goes far beyond astronomy. According to the Puranas, Shukra was born to the sage Brigu. Brigu was one of the Saptarishis, the seven great sages. These sages were considered the architects of cosmic knowledge. Because Shukra was born into this lineage, he inherited deep wisdom. But his destiny was unusual. While most sages guided the Devas, the celestial beings, Shukra became the guru of the Asuras. The Asuras are often translated as demons, but this translation is misleading. In Vedic philosophy, Asura represents material ambition and power. They seek dominance, wealth, and influence, and Shukra became their teacher. Why would a wise sage guide the Asuras, you ask? Because the cosmic balance requires both sides. The Devas represent order and spiritual alignment. The Asuras represent desire, ambition, and material power. Without desire, civilization would not progress. Without ambition, innovation would not exist. Shukra became the guru of those who pursued power in the material world. And this is why Venus in astrology is connected to luxury, wealth, pleasure, desire, relationships, and comfort. Venus teaches humanity how to experience the material world, but Shukra also possessed a secret that terrified the gods. Shukra performed intense penance to please Lord Shiva. For thousands of years, he meditated with extreme discipline. Eventually, Shiva granted him a powerful mantra. This mantra was called Mrit Sanjeevani Vidya, the knowledge that could bring the dead back to life. This meant that whenever the Asuras died in battle, Shukra could revive them. This completely changed the balance of cosmic war. The Devas became worried because every time they defeated the Asuras, Shukra simply resurrected them. This myth explains something profound about Venus. Venus represents renewal of life force. Venus restores vitality. This is why Venus rules fertility, sexuality, reproduction, beauty, and creative regeneration. During many battles between Devas and Asuras, Shukra stood behind the Asura armies. Whenever warriors fell, he revived them. This made the Asuras extremely powerful. The Devas eventually approached Brihaspati, their own guru. Brihaspati was the teacher of the gods. In astrology, Brihaspati is known as Jupiter. This creates one of the most important planetary polarities in Vedic astrology: Jupiter versus Venus. Jupiter represents spiritual wisdom, Venus represents material mastery. Both are teachers, but they teach different paths. Through these myths, Venus came to represent several deep principles. First, attraction. Venus draws things towards itself. Second, desire. Venus governs things we crave. Third, beauty. Venus represents harmony and aesthetics. Fourth, it is regeneration. Just like Shukra revived the Asuras, Venus restores life force through love, pleasure, and creativity. This is why Venus rules art, music, dance, luxury, romance, fashion, and relationships. But Venus also has a shadow side. Too much Venus can lead to addiction to pleasures, overindulgence, obsession with beauty, attachment to luxury. This dual nature makes Venus one of the most fascinating planets in astrology. In your birth chart, Venus shows what you value, how you express love, what attracts you, how you experience pleasure. But Venus behaves very differently depending on where it sits in your chart. A Venus in the first house behaves very differently than the Venus in the eighth house. Venus in Leo expresses differently than the Venus in Pisces. And Venus in different nakshatras reveals entirely different karmic stories. This is exactly what we will explore in this series. In this episode, we explored the mythology of Venus, but mythology is only the beginning because the real power of Venus appears in your birth chart. In the next episode, we begin exploring Venus through the 12 houses of astrology, starting with Venus in the first house, the placement of natural charm, beauty, and magnetic presence. If you want to understand how Venus shapes your life, you won't want to miss that. Free astro consultations, 10 readings daily only, first come, first serve basis. Subscribe Cosmic Blackbox and visit the website. Stop guessing, start decoding. And welcome to Cosmic Blackbox community.